What is up, everybody? Welcome to the channel. This is the Gaming Chitchat Show, where we talk everything gaming. And today we have a very, very special guest, a very special friend, and no stranger to the channel, Tommy Tallarico, the president and CEO of Intellivision, the creator of live video games live, and a famous video game producer of over 300 games to his credit. Profound. He's done everything. Tommy, what's up, buddy?
Hey, how you doing, Sean? Thanks for having me on again. I can't believe it's been, we were talking before, 9 months since the last time?
About that, yeah.
Seems like 9 weeks.
I know.
Crazy.
It's been crazy. How you been, buddy?
Great. I mean, we're just so energized and excited here at Intellivision with, everything kind of, getting ready and getting finalized, and people are on the outside are able to play the machine for the first time, and it's the reactions are just, it's like, we work on this stuff and we're all a little bit biased, right? I'd be lying if we weren't, and of course, and we need to be, and so when other people on the outside come in and are blown away, we're just, it just makes us feel so great inside to say, okay, even though we're biased, other people who are not are loving this just as much. So
nice.
So good news.
Awesome. That's great news. Now, I have to start off the show with something I've been wanting to talk to you about so bad.
Here we go.
Blaze Entertainment.
Yes.
The Evercade.
Evercade.
Oh, man.
Our friends at Evercade.
Awesome. I am obsessed with the Evercade. I've been a huge, huge fan since the beginning. And when I saw this announcement, oh, hell yeah.
You mean this?
Wow. I can't believe it. Awesome.
Yeah.
Tell us all about it, Tommy. Take the floor.
Absolutely. Like, I love those guys over there.
Yeah, they're great people.
You're great people. And I think I already have every single game.
Yep.
But I buy all the cartridges anyway, because it's just, it's so cool to have it on the go. And of course, with their Evercade Versus now coming out, which is going to be awesome. And of course, that's a big part. You've heard me talk about it for many years, couch co-op, people playing together. So we're just really, so many things we're aligned on. And so we announced that we're doing 2 volumes.
Nice.
They're going to be 12 games on each cart. The first one is going to be available for pre-order, actually, I think next week or the week after, sometime in May. And it's going to be coming out in September. October is the timeline right now. And we announced the first 12 games.
Great.
And it's really great. Yeah, it's really, we wanted to really, we picked the games, we worked with Evercade, and they're so great to work with. And we picked the first 12 games that really took advantage of this.
Yeah,
right?
The hardware.
So although, and the controls, right? Mm-hmm. So although like a game like Night Stalker is a perfect example where, on the original Intellivision, do I have one? Do I have a disc? Oh, it might be downstairs. On the original Intellivision disc, you had the disc to move, and then you had to use the keypad to fire, which wasn't that, which wasn't that great. For that at the time, but so
nice
remapping buttons and so we're actually going into the original code and changing some things around to modernize the controls for something like this. So it's very exciting, and they do a lot of work over there, Evercade, to really make the experience as good as they can possibly make it. So we're really excited about it. I mean, they had Astro Smash up and running like within the first couple of days, and it was so cool to see it on a little tiny screen that you could carry around with you, and that had real controls. It's because I've seen Astro Smash on mobile, and it's like, okay, and it's kind of, you're using your finger to go left and right. but to have it on something this small and legit, it's pretty cool.
And with the Versus console coming out, the home console, how do you think that'll translate over? Just as good, right?
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
a lot of the Intellivision games, if you recall, if you wanted a 2-player game, you needed a second player, right?
Right.
So there's a lot of games out there that are really just kind of, 2-player, some of the sports games, for example. So, but yeah, even on the first volume, we're putting on the hockey game, and Super Pro Hockey Slapshot was basically the original hockey game, NHL hockey, but you could play against the computer. So that's why we decided to put that version on. So things like that'll be, you'll be able to, open that up.
Great. Excellent. So something that already was awesome with Couch Co-op, the whole Evercade experience. Now you combine it with the Intellivision experience and it's like double.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Totally.
I can't wait. I'm so pumped. I'm always pumped for when Evercade, like Blaze is good at telling you guys, like telling everybody on Twitter a day before, like get ready for the announcement. And when it was Intellivision, it was just like, wow.
Oh, cool.
And then I have next, let's talk Earthworm Jim 4. Anything to share with the viewers? Anything new? Any new updates? Super pumped about that.
Yeah, let me see. What kind of little morsel could I give?
Yeah.
I mean, we're right about to announce that this is a world premiere, world exclusive right here for Sean.
Sure.
We're about to announce that yet another member of the original team is going to be coming on board full time.
Oh, wow.
At Intellivision.
Wow.
So that'll make, let me see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Well, now I have 6 people out of the 10 of the original team.
Of the original.
He's one of the incredible art. Well, 6, and then we have another person on the outside, Nick Broody, who's also working with us as well. But he's not full-time here in Orange County with us. But he's working on product. So 7 of the 10 are working on television now. But and he's just an absolute incredible illustrator. If you've ever seen any of the box arts from Earthworm Jim, any of the posters, any of that stuff, that's all this guy. So we're excited to be announcing that pretty soon, and just yet another person is going to add to, the incredible thing that they're doing. I mean, with the delay of the console now, being a year delayed, we were hoping to have Earthworm Jim originally completed by like the end of this year, originally, when we first, kind of signed the deal and did all that stuff and first talking about it. But the, because of the delay and everything, it's easily pushed out probably a year.
2022?
At least, end of 2022 is what we're currently shooting for.
So like holiday?
That would be the plan. But we may or may not be teasing some more stuff over the summertime. That may or may not happen. I can tell you that.
All right. Sounds good.
Yeah.
Oh, and I just want to add, what was this thing I was hearing about too? Something about mini games?
Oh, yeah, that was some weird rumor that was misinterpreted from something I said, and then people kind of ran with it. But the idea was, what I was saying was that if you look at the original Earthworm Jim, it wasn't just a platform game. People associate Earthworm Jim with a platform game because there's nothing really else to.
But it had a lot of non-platformer elements to it too.
Remember the Andy Asteroids level the rocket with the banjo music. You remember the snot bungee level, the Peter Puppy bouncing the things around. There was a lot of different things in there, and originally we wanted to do a lot more of that, But because of the Genesis controller, you know, the D-pad 3 buttons,
Limitations.
yeah, we were very limited to what we can do. Now, think about all of the crazy cool stuff we could do with this, with a screen, with a speaker and a microphone and LED lights. Think of all of the humor, the motion controls. Think of all the humor that can be had with this. So a lot of this jokes and the stuff that we're writing are actually based around this. So it's going to be really cool. So I kind of said, look, you know, the new Earthworm Jim, it's not just going to be a platform game. It's going to be so much more, lots of different things. And I think people kind of took that to mean, oh, it's just going to be a bunch of mini games, but that's not going to be the case. But there's going to be a lot of diversity.
Which it really always was. But like you said, it was limited by the hardware.
Yeah.
Right. Awesome. I can't wait for that game.
It's going to be fun.
Mattel and Sesame Street. Tell us all about how that came to be.
Yeah, so you know, I have a very dear friend at Mattel who heads up. He's actually heads up the entire division of toys, and so we had met we were talking to Mattel for like about a year and a half. Then when I met my buddy at Toy Fair in New York City that would have been last February. That's when we kind of sat down, had some great discussions. In fact, that same time is when we sat down, and because Sesame Street is located also in Manhattan, and Major League Baseball, who we had already signed that deal, but we were kind of visiting them in their office. But yeah,
cool.
But yeah, we you know, Mattel, of course, was, you know, the original creators of Intellivision. So to kind of come full circle was pretty cool. And we're starting with the Hot Wheels license, which is their #1 Mattel license. You got Hot Wheels, Barbie. That's like, you know, the two biggest. But after that, you know, we're talking to them about things like Uno and He-Man, Masters of the Universe as well. So we're going to do the Hot Wheels thing first, and Colossal Crash, and then from there we'll see what else, what other paths we can go down. But yeah, we're excited about Mattel.
Awesome. And as far
the
as
Sesame Street stuff is actually fun, and it looks great on the machine, on Amico, on the big screen.
Educational stuff.
All strictly educational stuff that's fun. You know, we're talking 3 to 5 year olds.
Okay.
That's the kind of the sweet spot for the Sesame Street stuff we're doing. And we're doing different packs as well. So you know, you're not just gonna like get one game, you're gonna get a variety of games. The controller is really fun to use. A lot of multiplayer as well, or cooperative with multiple controllers. And we let me see, in December, we ended up doing a whole bunch of voiceovers, new and unique voiceovers with all of the actors and characters. So yeah, Big Bird and Grover and Cookie Monster and Elmo all added new and unique stuff to what we're doing. So yeah, we're really happy about it, and
that sounds exciting.
It looks really fun. I mean, it looks crisp.
Yeah,
looks good on screen. Colorful.
Nice.
Kids love it.
Wow, I bet they're gonna flip out with that.
Yeah.
Now, I heard you mention before about how you're not in competition with the other systems because you're doing your own thing, and how you don't have to worry about getting a non-gamer to play with your system and worry about like a 30-hour RPG.
Right.
So how could I explain this system to like somebody to get them into this?
I mean, if you mean a non-gamer?
Yeah, non-gamer. Right.
I mean, the easiest thing, if you want to do it in under 5 seconds, you just say, hey, this is like the next Wii, but 15 years later, except the focus is on casual gamers, you know? That's how you say it in under 10 seconds, right? But yeah, you know, I would say that all of the simple and fun pick up and play games that you have on mobile that you may like on mobile, all of that stuff, but on the big screen, those kind of experiences,
Right.
but unique experiences on the big screen, but with a real controller. You know, a physical controller instead of just putting your finger on the screen, and the focus being on, playing with other people. Whereas with this, all the hyper casual and casual games are solitary. It's just you looking at a screen. So that's kind of a easy, and no violence, and it's fun for the family, and
family friendly.
And it's affordable, simple, affordable family entertainment. 4 words, and those spell out safe. Yeah, it's but again, if you just say, remember all that great fun you had with Wii Bowling and Wii Sports?
Bowling.
Well, think of that 15 years later times 1,000. That's what Amico is.
And as far as the mobile app that you're going to be able to use as a controller,
Yes.
is that going to actually look like a Amico controller, or is that going to be like, is that going to have some kind of a HUD on it?
Yeah, so I mean, this is this is a real one, and this is the mobile controller. But I have the classic Intellivision skin on this version. So there's another exclusive for you, which is where you're actually going to be able to choose different skins. So if
that's cool.
If you want this skin, you can get it. But if you want the classic
Glacier
wood grain, this is the Glacier white. If you want to get the graphite black, or the GTO red, or the Galaxy purple,
nice,
or a bunch more. If you want a camouflage, or
so you can match your system
animal pattern, you can do whatever you want. Yeah,
wow, that sounds
whatever
cool.
You want. Yeah,
awesome,
pretty fun.
Awesome. And the controllers, the extra controllers, will be available at launch as well, right?
At launch, yeah, and we're still trying to figure out the pricing of those.
Okay,
it's going to be somewhere between $50 to $70, probably closer to the 60.
Okay,
60 range, 60 to 70 range. We're not 100% sure yet. We're trying to get them as low as possible, but with the pandemic and the component crisis and all this stuff going on, I don't want to say a number and then have it not be true. But I would say that's a safe range somewhere in there. Which again is with all the technology that's in here: capacitive touchscreen, accelerometer, gyroscope, speaker, microphone, all the LED lights and and everything, wireless contact charging, force feedback. With all that stuff, there's more technology in this than, let's say, like a Joy-Con, because of the screens and everything. But the Joy-Cons are $79, right? So you're going to have a lot more technology. It's basically almost like a mobile phone.
I was just going to say,
without the 4G or the 5G. And we're going to do that less expensive than what first party controllers normally are for home consoles.
Sounds good. Yeah, it's like a computer itself, really.
It is. It's not a very fast one, but it's a computer.
Right. It's got a lot of.
It has its own memory. It has its own chip. It has its own, operating system. Everything. Yeah.
Right. Very cool. The pack-in games, the 6 pack-in games. How did you guys decide on that? Was that just you, or was that like a whole Intellivision team decision?
Yeah, I mean, it was mostly me. With people giving their thoughts, but also the focus groups that we did. Looking at all the focus groups, we have about 50 games in production. So at the time, about a year and a half ago, we had most of the games were in a very, very playable state. And so we just, I had my things, and we've switched out a couple too along the way. We thought, let's do this one, and then but this one tested really well with non-gamers or whatever. So we're trying to like round out things. Here's a sports game, here's a sci-fi game, here's a motion control game, here's a party game. So really here's an action arcade shooter kind of thing. Yeah, so we're really trying to, here's one for kids, or a really good one for kids. So really kind of just rounding out something for everyone, no matter what type of gamer you are, from
Mhm.
casual to hyper casual
Something
to
for you.
hardcore to action arcade retro to a non-gamer at all. We kind of want to pick things that there's going to be at least one or two things in there for you. So yeah.
Sounds good. All right, let's talk physical for my
Okay.
media
Let's
collectors
get
out there.
physical.
Yeah,
Physical.
physical. Um, revealing anything yet or talking about actual anything yet as far as that goes?
Yeah, I mean,
I know you said
we're gonna
10,
do
right?
we're gonna have, I think we're gonna have, I think that's gonna be closer to 8 for
Okay.
launch, just because of um because just we're starting to whittle some things down. So there's,
Okay.
and again, it might be 10 in some territories, but
Okay.
like something like Major League Baseball, for example, probably doesn't make sense over in Europe, in UK,
Right.
right?
Right.
So those are some kind of things. But the idea is that we're going to be showing it, launching it, everything. On a really big, we're going to use that opportunity as an exclusive to, whether it's on a huge TV show which has tens of millions of viewers, or a YouTuber with tens of millions of subscribers,
Right.
influencer or whatever. So we're going to kind of save that, and we also want to do that a little closer to launch too. We want to
Okay.
really get people excited about it. We'll drop some hints here and there. In fact, we're going to be dropping a couple of fun little, hints about things over the next couple weeks. I'd say over the next month, to get people kind of excited about what we're doing. I did drop a little bit of a hint in one of my tweets the other day, where I said I was showing some screenshots of Finnegan Fox, which
Oh
is
yeah,
one of
yeah.
the, I kind of admitted that it's one of the titles, and I said on there, hey, here's 8 screenshots. I need 3 of them for the back of the box.
Right.
So there was kind of a 2 kind of hints there. One saying that Finnegan Fox is going to be one of the physical media, but also that there's a box involved. So that's, little bit of a hint. I'll tell you this, Sean. It's not only I think retro collectors, especially in television fans, are
Yep.
really going to appreciate what the physical media is.
Yep.
But again, collectors are going to like it as well, because it's not just one thing in the box.
Yep.
There's some cool collectibles in
Manuals.
there as well. Not manuals, no. And I'll tell you why, because people are like, oh, damn you. I'll tell you why, though, because the whole idea and concept of Amico is that you don't need a manual in order to play the
Right.
games. Now, that being said, you might have saw on Evercade,
I was just gonna say,
Evercade for the 12 games, they are going to be recreating the manuals. So
right,
that's
because that's
cool.
their thing.
Yeah,
That's part of what you get with their package.
so great. It's so great.
Oh,
So
they go all out.
yeah.
Awesome. Yeah. Yep. I can't wait for that. So yeah, looking forward to that. And my other question, as far as with the physical, is it going to be a limited thing with each title, or is it going to be unlimited amounts? Like I could wait on this to buy it, or do I need to get it now or pre-order it?
So the first run of them that we're doing, the first batch are going to have a special marking. So, like
Oh wow,
special limited edition version, because they're our first run,
that makes sense.
right? So the boxes will be a little different, but after that, then yes,
Oh,
it'll be, so I think a lot of people will be scrambling to get
sure.
those first, limited
Like launch edition.
versions. Yes, yeah, like
Okay.
special edition, but they
Okay.
will be limited. They will be limited to, thousands of copies as opposed to 10,000s of copies.
Okay.
So those first batch will be limited, and we'll have a special marking on them. And that's another exclusive from Sean, because he always
Awesome.
asks for cool questions that other people don't ask.
Yeah, I think about this stuff, and plus
You
I'm a
do.
collector, so this is always
prepared.
going in my head. I want to get them all. It's like Pokemon.
That's right.
All right, so now going back to the release date,
Mm-hmm.
which you had changed it from 10/10 to April, and then
Yes.
with everything with the pandemic,
Yep.
back to the original date 10/10.
10/10.
So
Yeah.
that must have been very special for you. Talk about that to the viewers.
Yeah. So for those who might not know,
Right.
10/10 was my sister's birthday, and she had unfortunately passed away about 20 years ago. But so I kind of originally chose that 10/10 date for a number of different reasons. One, it's kind of like before Black Friday rush. So, hoping to get like 2 bites of the apple, Christmas apple there. And we're not, and we weren't going to be around PlayStation and Xbox being released and all that stuff, and like all the Christmas craziness that happens. And again, but mostly, for my sister's birthday. And then so we're trying our hardest, to try to make as many of those as we can. We have 100,000 purchase orders and pre-orders already, and we had to cut those off.
Wow.
More stores wanted a lot more, and we had to say, look, we can't. We're not sure we can manufacture 100,000 of these things at this point, let alone 2 or 3 or 400,000. So,
Wow.
hey, it's a good problem to be in, right? I can think of a lot worse problems to have, and we're okay with crawl, walk, run. We're okay with that, as our strategy. We don't have to sell 1 million units out of the gate. We can sustain ourselves for many, many years, even if we only sell a couple of 100,000 units. So,
Right.
And again, you think of a company like Evercade, like they don't have tons and tons of people, but obviously our goal and our dream is to be doing tens of millions of these out there. So, but we have many, many years to get there. So we just want to, have a successful launch this year. As a lot of people know, components are the issue with everything this year. I was just reading yesterday, Sean, did you see this thing where Chick-fil-A is having problems producing their sauces because of like certain things that are happening in the world? So it's crazy how much electronics and components, affect our daily lives. And when companies like Ford can't produce Mustangs because of a chip shortage, and when companies like Nintendo, Sony, and Microsoft are struggling to try to get units on the shelves, well, little old underdog Intellivision, who's at the back of all those lines, we're trying to do our best. And, we'll probably know, Sean, by end of July, if we'll be able to secure all the components to come out and ship in October. Now, here's the deal. We have over 700 parts in an Intellivision Amico. Over 100 of those are electronic components.
Right.
If one of those is missing, we can't make it. So we can't make the machine. And I can tell you with all honesty and transparency that right now, as we stand here today, what's the date today is May 13th. I can tell you as of May 13th, 2021, we have 2 components that are very important that are very scarce and we can't find right now. And we have 2 other components that are very small, and I don't want to call them insignificant because nothing's insignificant, but 2 that we thought would be very easy, and a lot of other people thought would be very easy to secure, that we are also now having trouble finding. And, you know, again, as I sit here in the middle of May, we have about a month to 2 months in order to find all these things that we need, that we're missing, these 4 things that we're missing. We started buying components last November.
Wow.
And so it's, you know, we're in a difficult position, challenging position. And you know what? We like challenges.
Sure.
We don't like these challenges, but we're, you know, we have a team of so many amazing, talented people here that are working hard, every single teams of people working every single day to try to make this thing happen. But we are kind of at the mercy of the world right now. And you know, and we don't have, we can't be like Sony where, you know, Sony, and this is public knowledge because they're a publicly traded company, they sold 4.5 million PlayStations
Right.
last Christmas, last holiday, and they were taking $100 loss per unit. Do the
Right.
math on that, friends. That's $450 million loss. Look,
Right.
we can't be like Sony. We're not a $1 billion company. So hopefully everyone's out there rooting for the underdog. You know, old Intellivision here, and just know that we are doing our best. Look, we're a pre-revenue company. The more we delay, the more it hurts us, the more money I have to raise in order to keep,
Sure.
you know, everybody employed. So, you know, the people who hate it the most are us. So again, know that we're doing everything in our power to get this out to the folks. So yeah,
Right.
so we'll know a lot more over the next 2 months.
That was exactly my next question. I was going to go right into that. As far as the shortage in the components, how's October looking? I was reading
Yeah,
also that the because of the whole AMD chip shortage
yeah,
and how it's affecting the consoles right now, that Sony is even thinking about maybe making a different version of the PS5 with a different, going with a different chip
yeah.
because of
We
that
had to do
reason.
something similar to that a couple of weeks ago, where we were looking at, you know, and it was a very important, and I mean, somewhat important. It's pretty important. I'd say maybe upper mid-level importance. And we were looking, and again, people were starting to say that, yeah, these probably won't be available till at least 2022. And
Right.
so we're like, oh boy. So we started looking at an alternative, you know, alternative method. We found one. We're like in the very final you know, staging process of testing. And then because, see, the thing that people don't realize, it's like a domino effect. It's like when you do something like that, you make that hard decision where, boy, everything's working great now. Oh boy, we have to switch this out. Well, that affects all of the compliance testing as well. Now we have to kind of
Right.
go back, because if you change one little thing, well, now you have
Got to
to start from
change.
scratch on some of those tests. So yeah, so it's again all the little kind of
Yeah.
challenges of being a small company with really big ideas and on the same store shelves as Sony, Microsoft,
Yep.
and Nintendo, but without the infrastructure, without the $1 billion in the bank, without the marketing power, without the technology, without the, you know, whatever. So again, but we have big ideas, and hopefully, you know, people, like I said, people root for us, please.
Sure.
Even if you don't like the system or you don't like what we're offering, root for a 4th player in the game. You
Sure.
root for the underdog.
Yep. And for people that don't know, what's included with the system, and does it depend on the pricing of bundles? Because I know there's a few
Yeah,
different
so
ones.
yeah, so there's so our Glacier White and
Right.
Graphite Black, those are the standard models. And they go for 249 US. Now, what you get with that though is 2 amazing controllers. In fact, Sean, you probably know this, but the last video game machine that came standard with 2 controllers was 30 years ago, the Super Nintendo. It's
Right.
unbelievable to think about that, but it's
Yeah.
true.
It's
And that tells you
crazy.
all you need to know about where gaming has gone over the last 30 years, right? And so you get 2 controllers out of the box. You also get 6 premium games, not demos, not tech demos. Like even Wii Bowling, as great as it was,
that's another thing that's been missing. They don't come with games either anymore.
That's right. That's right. And so our whole concept and idea, and we spoke very long and hard with this with our retailers like Walmart, who is the #1 retailer in the world.
Sure.
Like GameStop and Best Buy and Amazon Prime.
Big stores.
And they all told us the same thing, which is the people who were going for that demographic, this go-to-market strategy of getting to moms and families and people who normally don't get marketed to, like seniors and retro and little kids and this and that. All of those, that kind of family audience, what they want is one-stop shopping, out of the box, give us a bunch of stuff. So could I have done a version with no controllers and just say, oh, just hook up your mobile device? No controllers and no games for $150 or $125? Yeah, I could have did that, but that's not who we're marketing to. That's not who we're targeting. We want everything out of the box. But the biggest thing about that too is that all of our games are $9.99 or less digitally on launch, right? Even our physical media, $19.99, right?
Yeah.
And so on launch. And so that's an important distinction, I think, to make as well, is that not only are you getting this big value out of the box, but also moving forward, there's no in-app purchases, there's no DLC, there's no loot boxes, there's no in-app ads. You get the game, you own it forever, right?
Yep.
And at a very, very, very affordable price. So value and trust, those are the 2 things that we want to build with our end customer and consumer. Value and trust, because we know that if we don't come out with shovelware stuff, if we keep everything high quality and at a great price, then people are more apt to, buy a lot more games because they trust that they're going to be good. So that's what we're going for.
Nice. And a trophy system or achievements for each game.
Mm-hmm. So this is great because you're going to love this, because it really ties into our leaderboards as well. So let me talk about leaderboards and achievements for a second here. When you think about leaderboards, modern leaderboards, you might get like your best score in like 6 months and you're like, yeah. And then you look on the leaderboard and you're like 32,812. And it just destroys your confidence, right? It's just like, you know what? No matter how good I get at this game,
right?
And I could spend the next 10 years playing it every day for 10 hours, I still won't ever be in the top 10, right?
Nope.
And so it's just depressing to look at leaderboards. Same thing with achievements for me anyway, where it's like, oh, you've just killed 1,000 people in God of War. You unlocked an achievement.
Yeah.
And it's like, yeah, but 2 million other people have this exact same achievement. Is it really a badge of honor? Like if everybody else in the world already has it or has one? So this is what I did, Sean. You're going to love this. I incorporated those 2 things together. First, let me tell you about our leaderboards. I call them our time and space leaderboard system. What that means is leaderboards are attached to time, meaning week, month, year, all time, and space, meaning location, state, province, country, worldwide. So let's say you log in a score of 200,000 on Astro Smash. And what state are you in?
New Jersey.
Jersey, right? So you can, wow, I just logged in this great score. Now, where am I on the all-time Astro Smash list, all-time of the world? And you're like, oh, there it is again, 32,812, right? But then you say, where am I this week or this month or this year in the United States worldwide? Where am I this week worldwide? Where am I this
Yeah.
month in the state of New Jersey. And now all of a sudden it's like, oh, wow, I'm number 2 or I'm number 1 or now you start to feel good about yourself. But wait, here's where it gets really fun. I tie it in to achievements, meaning that when let's say you are the number 1 player of Astro Smash in New Jersey for the month of October, you know what happens? That is your achievement. That is your badge that you collect. No one else in the
Can
planet
get that.
will ever have that badge that you have.
Wow, that's awesome.
That is cool. That is a true achievement, something that you can be proud of and brag about. But I'm going to go one step further, Sean.
Wow.
And put the cherry on top. You know what else happens when Sean Murray becomes the October champion of Astro Smash in the state of New Jersey? You know what happens at the end of the month and that achievement happens? You get emailed a certificate stating what you did that you can print out and hang on your wall, frame it or whatever.
Oh, wow.
How
really?
cool is that? Yeah.
That is beyond cool.
Signed by me.
Really?
This is to Sean Murphy, Amico logo, Running Man, seal, Blue Sky Rangers, whatever. And this is to certify that Sean Murray is the Astro Smash champion of New Jersey in the month of October of 2021. I mean, this is fun stuff, right?
Yeah,
like I always say, Sean, like I said earlier, we can't compete with Sony, Microsoft, and Nintendo in a whole bunch of areas, but where we can compete with them is ideas.
Yeah,
and these are some of the ideas.
And the fun factor and the unique factor, and that's what it's really all about. And you guys are nailing it.
Yeah,
where they can't. I mean, that's amazing. Like you said, how many? I look at the trophy lists all the time, like on PlayStation, Xbox. They're all the same. Everybody's got the same ones, but who's got that? That's wild. That is really cool. I was really impressed with that. Wow. Very cool. And will there be other media apps? YouTube, Netflix, Hulu, anything like that?
Not as of right now.
Okay.
We don't have anything planned right now. It's not to say that it might not be coming. I mean, maybe something like a Disney Plus would make sense down the road if we're big partners with Disney. Who knows? Wouldn't that be something?
Right.
Or Nickelodeon has a
YouTube
station,
Kids
or YouTube Kids. Netflix has one as well. It's very popular. I forget what it's called, but so that's something that maybe could happen down the road. We're not against
ruling it out,
but right now it's currently not in the plan.
Okay,
because we want people to
concentrate on games
as a proper
gaming system,
game console. Look, my refrigerator can stream. I have a monitor in my refrigerator. My refrigerator can stream Netflix.
It can play Skyrim.
It literally can. Yeah, it's crazy. So I think everybody. I don't think anyone's not going to buy the console. Oh, wait, it doesn't stream Netflix. Oh, screw that. Right. Everybody has a million other devices already doing that.
Sure. Yep. And for those that didn't watch the last interview or don't know, what is the Karma Gaming engine, and can you explain it?
Yeah, so it's not really an engine per se. It's more like a philosophy.
Right.
We call it the Karma Gaming engine because but it's not really like it's a game design philosophy, which basically means that anyone should be able to pick up a controller no matter what your skill level and beat somebody else. Like when you sit down to play cards, when you sit down to play a board game, it's not like, oh, that person's going to beat everybody because, blah, blah, blah. Everybody has a chance. And so many times in gaming, modern gaming, that's not the case. It's like whoever played it the most is, I haven't played Fortnite ever, but this person's played it 6 months. What are my percentages of me beating that person? 0, right? And so and so it's that kind of philosophy, but also that for people who are not doing well in the game, that the game is somehow for that person giving them clues, giving them hints, giving them something that, so it's not like cheap, oh, they're in last place, so let's just make them go faster. I mean, they call it rubber banding. Like you see that in Mario Kart, for example.
Yeah.
That's not really what we're about or what that is. It's more like this. The person in last place, can we start to plant more nitro boosts around them
To help them out.
Yes. So it's not just like, oh, here's a fake thing, go. It's more like, let's give them a little more opportunities. Or like a example, like a game like Shark. If you're in first place, the shark will know that and target you more than they will target the person who's in last place. So just little fun, things like that.
Yeah. Again, like compared to the other systems, very creative stuff that they're not doing.
Yeah.
Will we see other third-party hardware on the system, like other?
If people want to, if somebody wants,
like a controller.
He could do a different style controller. Maybe they could do different shapes or whatever with the touch screen. But and like people ask me, like, oh, could you make a cartridge add-on where you could plug your old Intellivision cartridges in and play them? And I said, it's a great idea. Not something that we would want to do because of the cost, and we don't think there's a huge, maybe a couple thousand people maybe that would do that. But if somebody else wants to make it, we'd certainly endorse it. Give them
like
all
a Kickstarter.
Give them all the tools they need, sure, to bless it and to put it in our, to make sure everybody knows about it. So we're open to that, sure.
Cool. And again, to everybody that's not sure or doesn't know, explain the interactive guidance lighting and how does that work with the game?
Yeah, so I mean, there's so many different ways that works. So the controller has lights on it, so the disc, the buttons, but also the machine itself. I don't know if you've ever seen this. This is my I got my Amico bag here, and awesome. The controllers fit right here in the back. So you got a red one here and a purple one here.
Is that bag available for purchase?
Not yet, but it will be soon for pre-order. But
yeah, that's nice.
But yeah, we'll be selling these for sure.
All right.
And then you also sold separately are these packs, which if you want to take, just one of your controllers,
nice,
put it in and take it to a friend's house. It even has a little carabiner on it.
Very nice.
And you can take it to your friend's house or whatever. But yeah, but the lights on the console is, and then you can see the Amico in there, and it has pockets in there so you can put other stuff. You can Velcro in other stuff or whatever. But so here's this is my personal dev kit, my development kit. So again, this isn't the final GTO Red or anything like this, just one of our dev kits. But and it's going to be hard to see here, but so there's lighting here in the front, and then there's lighting on the sides, here and here. And so you can interact with the controller, with the game. The system might give you hints or something, even something as simple as charging. When you put the controller down to charge, and you can see red, green, yellow, how charged it is. So you don't even have to pick up your controller to see if it's charged. The lights on the system would say those are some of the functional things, but from a gameplay standpoint, lots of interactive stuff, warns you when things are about to happen, celebrates things that happen, or everything's color coded. So like if you're the red person and it's your turn, and this is your whole controller is red, and then boom, this shows red. the lights are red or blue or green or whatever your color is. Like if you're in first place, oh, now the green person's in first place. Boom, it's green. So,
Cool.
so lots of different things like that. I mean, I could go on and on for
Yeah.
an hour just about all the different ways, but very cool and
Nice.
interactive.
What is the battery charge on the controller? How long?
We're doing tests. Obviously, like everything, it matters, how many times it's rumbling and how many times you're, hitting the screen or using the gyroscope or whatever. But we're getting anywhere from 4 to 6 hours, typically over 5. And again, remember that if you have 2 controllers that you're using, you could be docking 2 other controllers in here while they're charging. Also, not only is it wireless contact charging in there, but also you'll notice the USB-C port here. So you could just charge it. You could be playing and wire it to a wall if you want, and so that it never goes out. Or maybe you have like a little mobile cell phone battery pack thing that's portable. You can plug that in if you run out of juice. So it really is. There's a lot of different ways to play it, but we never. And our games aren't really intended. We're not doing like 6-hour adventures and this and that. So 5 hours is more than enough time. We're just not that type of experience. You know?
Okay. And will all titles be exclusive to only Amico?
That's true. That's very true. Yes, everything is exclusive. And we even have like exclusive versions. I'll give you an example where Rigid Force Redux is a really popular, really nice looking shmup, right?
Yeah.
And so what we did is we have Rigid Force Redux Enhanced. So and it will only be available on Amico. And what we did is we took that single player experience and we turned it into a multiplayer game. We added, we added more music and things like that. Another example would be an Evel Knievel game that we have, where a version of it came out on mobile years ago. You can't even get it anymore on, I think on Android or iOS.
That was my next question.
Yeah. So what did we do? So we added vehicles, we added audio, we added multiplayer, and co-op multiplayer versus. We added new vehicles, new levels, more animations, more design, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. Basically, we took a game that was complete and we added a whole other more year of development. And then, we also added different controls and motion controls, all new, some new levels and new ways to play the game entirely. So so again, that's exclusive. Can't play that anywhere else except Amico.
Okay. And is there any games that you could play just on the controller?
It's a great question. Not really.
Okay.
Because it just doesn't have the oomph, to like this isn't as powerful as a mobile device. It's very, very basic for the most part in regards to the memory and the CPU and processing all that. And so because we had to keep the cost down, right? I mean, we could have put excellent chips in here.
Sure.
But then the price of the machine would have added another $100 to it. We didn't want to do that. So now there are some Easter eggs that we currently have in here of maybe old Intellivision games that you could carry around with you. I don't know if that's going to make it to the final version because there's so much stuff that we're still packing in and trying to optimize and this and that. If we can get it in, we'll try. So I don't want to say yes or no at this point, but we're thinking about it.
Okay, cool. And as far as the Evel Knievel, anything else to share with us, or is that pretty much all that's revealed right now?
I think I went through the great thing about Evel Knievel was
I'm excited for that.
Oh, it's really fun, Sean. I mean, people are just laughing till they cry. It's so funny. But one of the big things is that was kind of funny about it was kind of the ragdoll physics when he would hit when he would crash.
Right.
So what we did is we went through and we really went through and just created a whole bunch of more joints, his neck, his wrists, his different things, even the bike itself, where the wheels can come bouncing off, which never
yeah.
did before. So adding all these fun things to the crashes, because that's really the most fun that you have in the game. Yes, it's fun to make the jumps, but the real fun ensues and the laughter happens when you're crashing. So we really ramped that up a lot.
I can't wait for that. Do you have to be connected online for every game?
No, you don't have to be connected online for any game.
Okay.
Yeah, not a single one. But if you want to purchase new games, then you need to be connected.
Right.
Or if you want to log your leaderboard scores. We also have local leaderboards as well that save on your own machines for your family and friends and stuff. But yeah, you don't need to be on the internet to play anything.
And will every game have a multiplayer mode?
Yes.
Okay.
Required. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Awesome. And since the delays, has there been any hardware changes? Anything that you changed or added or anything?
Yeah, like I had mentioned, I mentioned the chip, but that was more because of the component crisis.
Right.
But yeah, we're doing some things internally. One of the things that I had mentioned on, if anyone ever watches Smash JT, I was talking to him about it when he did an office tour because he's around us.
Yeah, I watched that.
Yeah. So one of the things we were putting like rubber padding underneath the plastic here. So that when when it hits it, it sounds more solid. And so little kind of things like that here and there we're able to go back and look at, which is nice.
Okay. And I had a lot of viewers asking me to ask you this. They weren't, I guess, sure exactly how it happened and what went down to the outcome. But what was the whole Roblox sound issue? It wound up becoming a positive, right?
A positive for me.
Right. Exactly.
Yeah. Here's the oof shirts. If you go to Amazon, in the official Roblox store, you'll see my oof shirts there. It worked out great. I'm not really able to talk about it in too many specifics, but I'm a happy guy.
Good.
Roblox is happy.
Good.
So everybody's happy, and and
it worked out.
But I mean, basically, I'm very happy.
Awesome. Great. All right, let's talk about some stuff outside of Amico. As far as with you, growing up with Steven Tyler, he was an influence on music. How did that influence you?
Yeah, I mean, the thing I always tell Steven, and his real name, of course, Steven Tallarico, Aerosmith. The thing I always tell Steven is I said, what was amazing to me growing up was, to me, he was cousin Steven. To everyone else in the world, he was a mega rock star.
Right.
But the amazing thing to me was, because he was my cousin, and the families would sit on the side of the stage or whatever, it never seemed like an impossible job to me.
Wow.
Like an impossible dream. Like, oh, look how much fun Steven's having up there. I know him. There's no reason why I can't do that or be that as well, right?
Right.
And so that was the thing that I think he gave me the most, was this I never questioned it for a second. Whereas I think a lot of people, when they're kids, everybody has dreams of being, a famous actor, famous rock star, whatever. But you're thinking to yourself, yeah, but that's like a 1 in a billion chance, right? For me, it was just like, why shouldn't I be able to do that? So I'd say out of all of the things, that was the most influential that he gave me, was just the unwavering confidence that, if he can do it, why can't I?
Wow. Interesting. And for those that don't know, could you name some of your favorite projects that you worked on with video games? I put in
Yeah, I
parentheses
mean,
one of my favorite
Earth,
was Wild 9.
Wild Nines was great.
Oh,
That's the one we did after Earthworm Jim 2 and MDK.
yeah.
So Earthworm Jim 1 and 2 are up there. Advent Rising, which was an Xbox and PC game written by Orson Scott Card, who's, you know, the most famous living sci-fi author, Ender's
Yeah.
Game, stuff like that. I wrote, it took me 3 years, but I wrote, an Italian opera, which
Wow.
was really a bucket list thing for me. Some other games, I mean, working with Shigeru Miyamoto on Metroid Prime,
Wow.
can't beat that.
Phew.
Being a part of the original Tony Hawk Pro Skater team, there's only about maybe 10 or 12 of us on the team. Having early work on the first 3 Guitar Hero games was, life-changing in regards to memories and stuff. Being one of the first Americans to ever be hired by Sega of Japan for the Sonic team was also an incredible honor as well. So yeah, those are some of the bigger ones, I'd say.
Excellent. What first got you interested in Intellivision?
You mean working here or back in the 70s and 80s?
I guess just the inspiration in general. Maybe growing up as a kid. I saw those early pictures of you.
Yeah, with my Intellivision.
Yeah.
I haven't grown much since then, physically or mentally.
Yeah.
It was just, when I think of Intellivision, Sean, I think of playing with my mom and dad and my brother and all my friends. That's what takes me back. Everybody has, for some people that's the NES.
Yep.
For some people that's the Super Nintendo or the Genesis.
Yep.
For some people now it's the PlayStation 1 or 2. It's crazy, right? As these younger folks coming on the scene, as it evolves into our culture, gaming, right? I'm 53 years old. I was the first group of people to, the first generation of people to grow up playing video games, right?
Yeah.
And so, for me, Intellivision meant family. It meant, I get goosebumps and I get tears in my eyes just thinking about Intellivision, and that's why I'm so passionate about what we're doing here and what we're going to unleash on the world soon. So, it's a passion project for me. It's an important project for me, and I can tell you this: it's not just me. You walk into our offices, and everybody there has the same kind of passion as I do for what we're doing here with Amico, and I think that's so important because it's going to show in the final product.
Yeah. Before I get to my next question, you had my head going and I was thinking a lot of things. It's funny where we're at because you were talking about how you have those memories, right? And I have those memories, right? In the early days with Atari and NES. And I was a big PC gamer in the early days.
Wow.
Like
when you were like on Warcraft, like the original Warcraft 2?
Yeah, Warcraft, StarCraft, Diablo, Police Quest.
Yeah.
But I mean, the multiplayer part, what you guys are doing with the couch co-op, it's amazing how they've come so far with multiplayer, how you can play with somebody in another country, but they lost that togetherness. Yeah. You know what I mean?
I'm banking on it,
somebody
my
and playing is gone. Like my little cousin doesn't understand that.
Yeah.
And that's what you guys
there's
are
a
bringing
whole
back.
generation of folks who grew up not knowing really what co-op is because they're playing online with their friends all the time.
Call of Duty.
But they're not in the same room. Roblox, Minecraft, I mean, Fortnite, it goes on and on, right?
Right. They're hearing somebody over a speaker and they're not next to them. See, I grew up.
Such a difference. As you know, Sean, such a different experience when you're together in the same room.
It's not the same.
And that's what we've structured the entire system around that.
I want to thank you for that, because it's crazy as it seems. It's lost now.
Yeah. Coming back.
Yeah. Some viewer questions.
Yeah.
Carl, how many games are expected to be released by the end of the year, since the Amico is now coming out in October?
We're hoping between 40 and 50 for sure.
Okay.
Yeah.
Ken Riffy, will the Amico be like the PS5 and be hard to just walk in a store and buy one?
Probably when it first comes out, for sure. Yeah. If you want to guarantee one, pre-order. Go to Intellivision.com and pre-order it now, and you'll be towards the beginning of those lists. Yeah.
Harvey B, do you play the new gen systems, and what games have you been playing? Are you also a Switch player?
Yeah, I have a Switch. I have a PlayStation 4 and 5. Well, I mean, I have all the PlayStations, but my active machines right now, Switch, PlayStation 4, PlayStation 5. I didn't get the new Xbox. So far there's nothing that interests me yet. I'm sure there will be. But I mean, to me, honestly, and again, I'm a PlayStation fanboy. I don't mind saying it. I'm a fanboy of all the systems, but but especially Sony. So I have no problem saying this, is that I haven't really, like, I turned on my PlayStation 5 the day after Christmas, played around with Astro's Playroom, and I'm like, meh. And then I'm looking on the store and I'm like, I have all these on PlayStation 4. Like, anything I'm interested in, I already have on my PlayStation 4.
Right.
And I haven't really turned it on since. Like that, like, have we ever seen anything like this, Sean, in the history of gaming, where next gen is kind of like meh right now?
Right.
Now, we all know that's going to change.
Sure.
We all know that, like when I saw that Unreal 5 demo last summer, and it running off a PlayStation 5, I'm looking at that, frothing at the mouth, going,
yep, same.
That is next gen.
Yep.
Right? I just don't feel like the software is next gen state right now. I hopefully will be seeing that this Christmas.
Yep. And take
Will you
advantage
agree with
of
me
the
on
hardware.
that, or am I just weird?
No, I've been saying the same thing. They got to take advantage of the hardware.
Yeah. Yeah.
Rama Raju, how do you build rapport with the management team? What roles do others play in realizing your strategies?
That's a great question. So, I mean, we have such an amazing, incredible team. I mean, I can't say enough about them. These are folks who are AAA folks in their areas. And when we hire people, we absolutely, always hire the person who's not only talented, but passionate. If they're not passionate about what we're doing, they could be the smartest person or whatever. But if they don't just pour passion and love for what we're doing, we've hired people that have been maybe a little less experience, but more passion. We'll take those people over just pure experience. In regards to, the different divisions, we have this incredible, tree, if you will, structure, corporate structure. And, our CFO, COO, Nick Richards, he has, things that he's in charge of, like people under him. And then I deal more with the creative stuff and production related stuff and marketing related stuff and PR. That's kind of like creative is on my side. And then more of like the hardware, the nitty gritty of the hardware, the logistics, the customer service, the accounting, the that type of stuff is more like Nick. So at the top, there's kind of two kind of factions. And then, but underneath there's, okay, chief marketing officer, vice president of business development. These are the folks that are directly report to me. Design, stuff like that, game testing, a quality assurance for the games. These are kind of the things under me. But again, you look at all those people that are in those roles, and they have 20 years experience in the game industry, and they've owned their own companies, and they've been CEOs of their own companies or whatever. So yeah, it's pretty intense and amazing.
Wow.
The amount of talent that we have.
Harkin Landerfelt, what is your all-time favorite Intellivision game?
Major League Baseball. You're out.
Wow.
That is the one that I played the most. It's the one that I still play 40 years later, Sean.
Wow.
I still play that game. That's a good game, boy. A test of time. I also love Utopia. Another game.
That's my favorite.
Ice hockey.
Yeah.
NHL hockey was another big one of mine that I still play a lot of these days. But yeah, I would say Major League Baseball, then Utopia.
Okay.
And then hockey, in that order.
Tammy Gamer Girl, what Evercade cartridge have you been playing?
The one I'll tell you right now. I mean, I got it right here. I've been playing the Data East. You can see it right there.
That's
Collection
a real good
one. Yeah, I'm a big bump and jump fan. I mean, the thing that's a bit of a bummer for me about this is that they were the NES versions. And I even told the guys at Evercade, I said, I want the
arcade.
I want the arcade version of Bump and Jump. I want the arcade version of Burger Time.
I know they said in the future it's a possibility.
And so I can't say what I know, but I think there's going to be some happy people, including myself.
What do you think of Earthworm Jim on there? I've been playing a lot of that on there.
I have it, the Interplay collection.
The Interplay collection.
And it's 1 and 2, right? Interplay collection 1 and 2.
Yep.
I haven't had a chance to play it too much. Is it good?
Yeah, I'm always playing it.
Great.
Yep.
Good.
That's like my go-to place for it now.
I literally have it downstairs and I haven't popped it in.
The screen is so nice and sharp too.
Good.
Hassan Topku, what are the new game launches that he's most looking forward to? I don't know if he's talking about Amico or just in general.
Okay, well, yeah,
both.
I'll do both. I mean, in general, Halo 5 is going to be something special. I'm sure. I'm sure they're going to be showing a new God of War and Uncharted.
Yeah, Ragnarok.
Yeah, exactly. Uncharted, I'm always a big fan of.
Oh yeah.
So that's kind of in general. But for Amico, I can't wait for people to get their hands on Astro Smash. The Evil Knievel Moon Patrol, super fun.
Skiing.
Patrol. Oh my God, skiing is probably in my top 10 for sure.
I've been excited about that ever since you demoed that.
Yeah. Oh, I'll tell you, there's so much stuff in that game, Sean, that we haven't even told people about yet. It's really cool. Yeah, we're gonna do a deep dive on that one pretty soon.
Ooh.
Yeah. To give folks a chance to really see it and experience it.
Awesome. Ayrton Viana, how ideas flow in your mind to produce some soundtracks. I'm curious because I study music and I would like this technical point about a mastermind.
I appreciate the kind words there.
Yeah.
I can tell you that, hold on one second. I just remembered something. I need to write it down. Okay. I wrote it down. See, I got my Wonka book. My Wonka book. See, I got all my Intellivision notes are here. I actually have a couple of these, but
you got the golden ticket?
I do. In fact, the golden ticket is in the back of the book. It comes with a golden ticket, of course. And yeah. And then I have another one as well. This book, this is another Wonka book, which is more of the
Oh, wow.
the Johnny Depp Wonka logo, but
Yeah.
really nice leather bound. And that one has it. Does that one have a golden ticket in the back? It does. Of course it does. Yeah, this one's even a shinier one.
That's cool. Oh, wow.
But anyway, the question. So for me, everyone's different. For me, I like, I just sit there and play the game with no music, and I wait for things to pop in my head. And if I don't like it, then I trash that idea. And I imagine what the most epic sounding thing would be. And I imagine it. And then once I create something, then I run over to my piano or guitar, whatever, mostly piano, and I try to figure out what I'm hearing in my head. And that sometimes is the most challenging and frustrating thing for me, because I'm like, I'm hearing something in my head, but I'm trying to figure out the notes because I don't have like perfect pitch or anything like that. So that's how I do it. That's how I do it. Everybody does it differently, but that's, I just sit there and imagine what the most epic thing would sound like. And then I figure it out what I'm hearing in my head.
So one of my most exciting games that's coming out is Finnegan Fox.
Yeah.
I actually just posted a video on my Twitter today about it.
Oh, cool. I'll have to check that out.
Yeah. And I've been getting my little cousin into it. So he had a question for you. Tyler James Bennett. He's 6.
6. Great.
So Tyler asks, is there any bosses in Finnegan Fox?
Absolutely there is.
Oh boy.
There's a bunch of really amazing bosses as well. In fact, one of the screenshots, one of those 8 screenshots showed that big hornet. That's one of the big ones. But we have a big spiders, and we have big, I don't want to give away some of it, but yeah, we have some really fun, really fun bosses, and there's a lot of them too.
Nice. Yeah. I can't wait. That game looks gorgeous.
Yeah, it's really something special.
What is
very cartoony.
What is the output resolution of the Amico? Is that
1080?
1080p? Okay.
Yeah, no 4K.
Right.
I mean, our chip, our Qualcomm Snapdragon chip is capable of outputting 4K. But we don't utilize it because when you do 4K, from a video standpoint, you have to you have to quadruple your output from 1080 to 4K, right? That's 4 times the processing power that the chip is going to take or whatever. So and we feel that our audience, they don't care if something's in 4K or not. Again, look at our games. You look at Finnegan Fox. Do you care if that's 4K or 1080? It's crisp, it's colorful.
Exactly.
That's all we need. So we'd rather have higher frame rates at 1080 than slower frame rates at 4K.
Okay. And then I had a question. How did you come up with the idea for Video Games Live?
It was something that I just always wanted to go and see for myself, and no one was making, so I decided to make it on my own. And also a lot of people, a lot of my fans of my music would email me or write me and say, hey, would you ever consider doing a concert of your own music? And I'm like, well, I never thought of that, but you know what, but why stop at my own? Why not have it be for, everybody's music in the whole gaming industry?
Amazing. Interesting.
And the other thing too, is I really wanted to showcase, I wanted to prove to the world how culturally significant and artistic video games has become. So that was another huge goal of Video Games Live, and we sure achieved it.
Awesome. Yeah, it's amazing.
Did you ever see us at the NJ Pack?
No.
Oh, dude, next time we're in town on the East Coast, you got to come by. I'll get you backstage passes. We'll we'll do it up. Invite you to the rehearsals if you'd like.
Oh, awesome.
Yeah.
When do you think you'd be planning for that? I mean, roughly. Hard to say.
Well, I mean, because of COVID, everything's pretty much canceled for this year. So probably 2022.
2022. Yeah. All right, definitely. Yeah, hit me up.
Totally.
All right. So looks like that's it for our questions.
Awesome.
I want to first and foremost thank Tommy. Thank you so much for coming on my channel. I'm really appreciative of it. I learned so much when
Thank
you're
you, Sean,
on.
for supporting me and supporting
Absolutely.
Amico and getting the word out there. And I really love how positive you are about what we're
yeah.
doing and the system and just the vibe that you give off. I really
Yeah.
appreciate it. And you know, proud and fortunate to call you a friend. And I really appreciate it.
You too. Thank you so much for joining me on the channel today.
Thank you.
All right, take care, Tommy.
See ya.